It'd be interesting to have a look at her now.
And how are you going to do that? She's in prison.
Well, it wouldn't be hard. Just pay her a visit. Might be worth a look. Just out of curiosity.
Jessie.
Well, just out of curiosity. Just to see how she's turned out.
Oh, stuff.
A real top dog would have taken care of Egbert before she wrecked everything, not after.
Oh, you want to see what a real top dog can do? Well, it just so happens I've set something up that'll show everyone once and for all who's running things around here.
Oh, you have you? And what is it?
You want to see? Just be in the dining room tonight.
Yeah, well, she's been down on us ever since that bloody siege. She wouldn't even let us claim compo, huh?
Yeah, we could have all been rich by now if she'd done something about it.
Yeah. No wonder she was backing Flynn and her council. She knew she could wrap them wimps right around her little finger. Isn't that right, Egbert, huh?
We were trying to make things better.
Oh, trying all right.
Yeah, well, I was the only one that stood up to them. But every time I opened my mouth, they shouted me
Yeah,
down.
well, it's time we showed those screws that we won't stand for it. And I tell you what else we're not going to stand for.
Our property getting damaged.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Including me jacket.
Well, did you get me note? It was Ferguson that done it.
Yeah, I got your note. She'll find out what happens to people that cross me. I just want to make sure you all know. Anybody touches me stuff and they won't be back till Pancake Day. Got it? I knew you'd understand.
Yeah, well, you've made your point. But the fact is, it's Renault's fault. If she was tougher on the screws, we'd be better off by a mile.
Yeah, that bitch don't win any points in my book.
Right. Now, when we get in there, just do like I do. We'll show them we won't be pushed around. Come on, girl. Come on.
Hey! I said I agree. Doesn't mean I follow. What's the scam?
You'll find out when we get in there.
I don't do nothing until I know what's planned.
You're turning piker. Because if you don't want to join us, that's your problem. Right. Come on, you lot. We'll show Reno what she can do with the rough end of her pineapple.
Hey, what happened to you, Sport?
Fell over.
Landed on top of Kelly's fist, huh?
She'll ruin everything Nora was trying to do.
Still no sign of her, eh?
No. I hope she's got away. You've got to stop Lou. She's been waiting for this chance for years. If she gets away with it...
Hey, look, I'm not the only bike on the track. If I take on Kelly, it's because she crosses me, right? If you're looking for a top dog, you're going to have to find someone somewhere else. See you later.
What are we going to do? You'll see. But just make sure it's good when it happens.
You late, Connors? You too, Egbert.
Real sorry, Miss Ferguson.
Get your food.
Look, it'd be a real kick in the teeth for Ferguson if you join us.
I can think of a better way of kicking her in the teeth.
Like what?
Like kicking her in the teeth.
I said get your food, Connors.
Something's wrong.
Nah, wouldn't worry. Good to see him quiet for a change.
No, I'm serious,
Hey,
Joe.
That's for getting May Collins killed.
Goes for me, too. Come on!
Don't let me play! I've got to kick that crack off my gun! I told you something wrong would happen! Naughty! I'm bad with me belly, I want to eat! Stop this and crack!
If we get through, we're going to run this run. Stay on one till we get through Reno. Is that right, girls?
No point. It'll all be over in a minute.
I've got to kick it up!
Yeah, you do that.
Sherry? I don't mind if I do. So you knew this Lady Brooke Giddings then?
You mean Maureen Patterson? She's now Lady Brooke Giddings.
I couldn't believe it when I opened the door and saw her standing there, dressed up like a pox doctor's wife. Never would have given the kid to her if I'd known she was going to dump her like that.
I told you then not to trust her.
Haven't got so steamed up in years.
No. Not since that time. It was in the war. And you chased that young American soldier boy right down the street.
Well, he'd made a very lewd suggestion to one of my girls, and I ran a respectable house.
Those were the days.
Yeah, a girl on the game could hold her head high then. Not anymore.
Exactly. So why don't you stop all this nonsense? Grow old gracefully.
Well, since I retired, I get bored.
But you can't be serious about getting yourself into Wentworth.
You could just visit her.
But you don't get to know somebody just staring at them for 10 minutes through a wire mesh.
Oh, they don't have wire mesh anymore.
Look, you're not going to put me off. I've got Judge O'Grady coming round for his usual later on. I'll ask him what he thinks.
As usual. But I thought you said you'd retired.
I have, but, well, he's become more of a friend, really, over the years. I don't like to turn him down.
Must be in his 70s.
They built them to last in those days.
Oh, there's no hanky-panky. I just give him his usual drink.
Whiskey and milk?
And tickle his feet for him.
Really?
Oh, I put talcum powder on him first. He loves that.
You wouldn't read about it, would you?
Such a gentleman.
Well, Jessie, it certainly is a remarkable story.
The thing is, I'd love to know what sort of a young lady she's turned into now.
Quite.
Of course, being in prison, one can only assume.
I wouldn't make any assumptions, dear. I've sent some remarkably pleasant people up, sometimes for quite long sentences.
Nice.
Delicious. You have a wonderful touch.
Oh, my pleasure entirely.
Of course, you must be very careful about the crime you commit. I don't wish to see you locked away for a long period.
Oh, nor I. I shouldn't like it at all if our little afternoon tete-a-tetes were curtailed for any length of time. What would you recommend that I do?
Well, so many of the minor offenses result in little more than a fine. It might help you to be a touch impudent in court. It's always frowned upon, you know.
Yes, well, I think I could manage that.
I'm just wondering if I could help you by pulling a few strings. All above board, of course. Just helping along the natural processes of the law.
Oh, this country would be a finer place if we still had men like you steering its course.
You always were a flatterer, Jessie.
Not at all.
Oh, lower. Lower.
Yes, well, they're all locked in their cells now, Governor. I'll take a tray up to Wilder in solitary myself and then do a report on all this when I get back. Thank you, Miss Ferguson. You don't look too good, Governor. Is there something I can get for you? Thank you. Just your report.
Oh, so what are they going to do? Stick us all up in solitary? We're a bit bloody crowded.
I hope you girls don't get too hungry in the night. It's a long time till brekkie.
Yeah, well, it'd be worth it to get a bit of action around here.
Yeah, but I'm talking about breakfast next Monday.
Oh, it's not going to take that long, is it, Lou? I'm starving already. Shut up, of course not. Now, you lot just stick behind me and I'll show you what a real top dog can do.
Oh, did I hear someone say hot dog? Oh, I could still go a nice, juicy hot dog with plenty of mustard.
Yeah, well, you could have warned us it was going to be a hunger strike.
Yeah, well, we could have tanked up a bit at lunch. Shut your face. You sound like a bloody camel.
Jeez, you girls don't know what you missed out on tonight. Whoever cooked dinner deserved a prize. Beautiful bit of fish.
Yeah, smelled like chicken to me.
Oh, well, maybe it was. Sure filled a hole, though.
Yeah, well, you'll be laughing on the other side of your face when you see some of the improvements I'm going to get around here.
Listen, pal, I don't want to be a party pooper, but how about changing the record, eh? I don't mind if you get to stick it up Reno, but there's no way I'm going hungry for you.
Oh, can anybody smell bacon and eggs frying? For the last bloody time, shut your face.
Now, Wilder, what's all this I hear about you losing your appetite? Surely can't have anything to do with that little bit of blood you saw when your solicitor decided he didn't want to handle your case. Oh, by the way, Joyce Barry is still a very sick woman. Not even sure she's going to survive after that beating you gave her. you're going to be in here for a long time, Wilder. But I'll be here to keep you company. Nice thought, isn't it? Now, get this mess cleaned up.
Oh, so do I. I won't be getting any for a bit, so I better make the most of it.
You know, one of my clients once told me champagne's the only drink to have if you're on a diet.
Well, there aren't any calories in the bubbles.
Now, you've got to stop all this nonsense, Jessie. I still think you're being very foolhardy.
Oh, now, don't start that again. I've made up my mind. It's going to be quite an adventure.
But what if you can't get into it? I mean, if anybody's going to lock their car up, the police will.
Not according to the judge. It was he who suggested stealing one.
You've got to be pulling my leg.
No, I'm sure it'll work. I'll stand on the corner and wait till the cops get out, and then I'll nip in and try to steal it. I don't actually have to succeed.
You'll finish up in a sanitarium. It's ridiculous.
You just leave it to me. This time tomorrow, I'll be inside having lunch with my daughter. Here's to crime.
To crime.
And to tomorrow.
Which never comes.
Oh, cheer up, you old bugger. Or I'll tell them that you're the brains behind the whole operation. You'll end up inside with me. Here's to Lexi.
Alexi! Yeah.
Will you have a talk to Rita in the morning? Maybe if we keep telling her what a bitch Kelly is, she might do something about it. Why not?
She's made up her mind, that's what. She's going to have to stick with Kelly until we can sort out some... Oh, I don't know.
But Rita's the right person.
Rita's looking after number one, and I don't blame her. God, my mum always told me. You've got to look after yourself, because no other bugger's going to do it for you.
Well, Kelly, you finally came good. We haven't had a decent ride around here in quite a while.
I told you I know what I'm doing.
So you did. Pity it took you so long to prove it.
Well, I've proved it, so we're square now, right?
Wrong. You only get to stay top dog for as long as you keep this trouble going.
What are you getting out of this?
None of your business. Just keep the pressure on. Lights out in 10 minutes.
Meg, you put too much. Always do at that place. There's just so much to choose from. Dennis said they have the best calamari he's ever tasted.
How is he?
Oh, all right. Well, not much improvement, really. He doesn't write so much anymore now. Oh, here we are, trying to cheer ourselves up over this dinner, and look at us. Now, see anything you fancy? Oh, there's sure to be something. I'm afraid I'm not very hungry, though. Oh, come on. Don't say that. Well, I'm sorry. I just keep thinking about Joyce. She's going to be all right. I know. I feel so guilty about it. I should have foreseen something. And you can't make yourself personally responsible for everything that happens at Wentworth. I know what you're saying, but I do.
Oh, down on your knees, eh, Wilder? Begging for forgiveness, I expect. Oh, looks to me like you haven't touched a bit of it. Now, we can't waste good food, can we? Come here. We wouldn't like to force feed you, Wilder, but I will if I have to. Eat. Come on, don't you worry about a little bit of dirt. You've spread quite enough of it around this place. You should be used to it. Eat.
That's what's known as looking after number one, is it?
Oh, Jesus, I thought you were asleep, Chook.
Where'd you get that?
I went in the game. I forgot about it till just now.
Yeah, forgot about it till I was asleep, you mean?
No.
Lexi, I don't mind you having it. I just wish you wouldn't lie about it.
But I was going to keep you some, you know, for the morning. Would you like some now?
No, thank you. I'm only number two, remember?
Yeah, well, there's a bit on the floor if you change your mind. Stuck bitch.
It's just too easy to sit back and say things have to get better because they can't get worse.
You've had far more difficult times than this at Wentworth.
Yes, but in the past, our big problems have been caused by something outside. Bureaucratic stupidity from the department or problems with the staff. Joan, for instance. But I've always had the support of the women. That's what made me stay. The fact that they needed my help.
Well, they still do.
Oh, they made it pretty clear today that they hate me. They blame me for May Collins' death.
You weren't responsible. They'll understand that sooner or later.
Add to that the minister breathing down my neck. Now, maybe he's right. Perhaps Wentworth does need a new governor.
Wait a minute.
No, seriously, Meg. I have to think very clearly now about where I stand. Pippa and Ben have gone. Paul can look after himself. And perhaps I've outlived my usefulness at Wentworth.
Nonsense.
It isn't, Meg. If I don't have an understanding with the women, it's a negative exercise. It's as simple as that. I want you to be the first person to know. I've made a decision.
And you're tired and you're upset.
I am going to give my resignation to the minister first thing in the morning.
Oh, bugger! Hey, Pollyanna!
I hope you're only going for wee-wees.
No, breakfast.
Yeah, but there's supposed to be a hunger strike on, remember? You go anywhere near the dining room, you might find Kelly tickling your head with a fist. Know what I mean?
No.
Look, I can look after myself. You can't. So how about you just go back to your dorm and sit there like everyone else is doing? Savvy?
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
And don't talk to any strange men on the way.
Right, I want you to check the salt, pepper and sugar, please, Lynn. Alice, you're in charge of the eggs, and you can get the bacon from the cool room. Where's Barbie?
Are you going deaf in your old age or what? I just told you we're on a hunger strike.
I did hear something about it this morning when I
We're
came
not
in.
cooking breakfast.
I was told to prepare the meals as normal.
I knew they wouldn't take us serious.
Well, they better start.
I've never heard of anything. It's just so stupid.
Well, then you better wash your lug holes out, 'cause we mean it. Isn't that right, Lurch?
Yeah. There's no point in cooking it if no one's going to eat it.
Yeah, why should we? Reno killed May and we're going to make a stand.
Yeah.
What happened to May was an accident, and you know it.
Oh,
You've
accident?
been reading the wrong papers, Mervyn.
They set the bitch up and she was our mate.
Eh? Oh, yeah.
But you can't blame Mrs. Reynolds. That's ridiculous.
We're not eating till Reno goes.
No.
Oh, there's Barbie. Look, come on. We've got to get some work done.
Worky work.
Look, I want you to... look, can you manage the toast? Just butter it and put it on the tray.
You never give up, do you?
Look, I gave you an order. Would you like me to get an officer in here to have you carry it out?
Mrs. Barry better.
A lot better, thank you.
Her poor eyes.
It's only temporary, no thanks to Wilder.
She was very naughty.
But you better go and tell Kelly to hurry up. Then you can take the tray up to Solitary.
No, Mervyn said to hurry.
You can bloody well wait.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Listen, Dipstick, one word out of you and I'll smash you, got it?
What's going on here?
Oh, nothing, Mervo. It's got a bit of a shock, that's all. The dummy here actually spoke to me.
Take the tray to Solitary. Now listen, Kelly. I don't care what you do in the rest of the prison, but don't play top dog games here. I'm sick and tired of people getting hurt.
You're the boss, Merv.
Breakfast. And don't try throwing your food around like you did last night, or you'll just have to clean it up again. You all right, Wilder?
The smell of this bacon's killing me.
Quit moaning, will you?
My belly's beginning to think me throat's been cut.
Well, you won't be far wrong if you don't shut it. Plan's working, isn't it? Oh, looks like we're wasting our time, Miss Ferguson.
I'd say you were right, Kelly. All this lovely food gone to waste. Okay, take it back inside.
Hang on!
What do you want?
Me breakfast, what else?
You're late, Connors, and you're making a habit of it.
I got a right
I
to-
said you're late. It's finished.
She's still got a few minutes left yet.
All right, get on with it.
Oh, I got such an appetite this morning. Really looking forward to me tucker. Does you girls know what I mean?
You're asking for trouble if you do this, Connors.
Been in trouble most of my life, Kelly. I'll have a double helping seeing as how you got so much to spare.
Good idea. You're going to need it to keep your strength up.
You better learn something, Kelly. I don't like being told what to do.
Listen, lady, I'm top dog and don't you forget it.
You know, you remind me of something my dear old Nanas used to say. Rooster one day, chicken dinner the next.
Come in.
Morning, Governor. Trouble already, I'm afraid.
What is it?
Wilder. She seems to have had some kind of mental breakdown. Can't get any sense out of her.
Breakdown.
I don't know whether she's putting it on or not.
You told Sister Hall?
She's with her now.
Now, come up now. Pat, there's something you should know. I'll be telling everyone later. I've just been talking to the minister and I've offered him my resignation.
But why?
Lot of reasons. May, Nora, the attitude of the women. I think it's time for a change all round.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear it. It's quite a shock.
I'm sure it's best for everyone. Now, I hope the department will do the right thing and appoint Meg to replace me. In the meantime, she'll be acting governor.
I see.
I'd prefer you to keep it under your hat until I've had a chance to talk to her. She'll be in soon. Well, we'd better see what Miss Wilder's up to.
Don't you know he'd decide to make apple pie today? It's my favourite.
Oh, a little pet.
Get lost. You heard me. Get lost.
Hey, what are we going to do about Rita?
Reckon we don't have to do anything.
When the other girls find out she went against you, they'll be in here like usual.
Well, then we'll just have to show them that the biki's not as tough as she looks.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere near her. She'd bloody rip your arms off soon as look at you.
Well, let the freak deal with her.
Come on, you two, get some work done.
Look, there are two troublemakers in here, right? There's the freak and the beater. And everyone knows they're not exactly pals. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Connor's had a go at Ferguson over that precious jacket of hers.
Hey, I don't get you.
Look, come on, I said, get some work done.
Keep your shirt on.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, where's my little grub? Please, Mrs. Reynolds, I'll do anything.
Now, calm down.
I'm going mad in here. Please send me back. I'm frightened.
Oh, pull yourself together, Wilder.
I've given her some Valium. That should help calm her down.
You must realise the women know you've been charged with the attempted murder of Mrs. Barry.
I know they hate me. I know everyone hates me, but I can't stay here. I'll go mad.
It wouldn't be safe for you to mix with them.
But I have to face them sometime. It's true, isn't it? I have to.
We can still keep you in isolation away from potential danger.
No, please, it's being in here. I can't stand it, being on my own. All the terrible things I did. Robin and David and Mrs. Barry. I can't stop thinking about it. It's awful.
I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that.
Mrs. Reynolds, you're the only one that can help me. Please help me.
I'll consider your request. It could all be an act, couldn't it?
Possibly. But she's definitely suffering from a genuine lack of sleep.
Oh, what about the drugs you gave her? Won't they help?
Yes, but... Look, I think she should be put first on the list for Dr. Weissman's next visit, just in case.
Sounds sensible.
I also think he'd agree with me that keeping her in isolation could lead to chronic depression. Maybe even push her over the edge.
Yes, well, perhaps it would be better to put her in with the other women. But I want to isolate her again at the first sign of any trouble.
Right.
Make sure Mrs. Morris has your report.
Of course. Why Mrs. Morris?
We're in for some changes.
Anne, are you all right?
Yes, fine.
Did you phone the minister?
He doesn't want to lose me. Can't think why after the debacle I've made of
Oh,
running
that's
this
not
place.
true and you know it.
Anyway, the department's decided to accept my resignation provisionally. They want me to take a month's leave of absence.
To think it over.
I'm not going to change my mind, which is why I haven't told anyone else about that part. I'm going to tell the women that I'm going and that you'll be taking over permanently.
I'll look after the place for a month.
I've had enough. At least this way the women will be able to eat. They must be pretty hungry by now.
And why don't you just give it the month?
I'm going to May's grave later today. Do you think Daphne Graham would mind if I took some of her flowers?
No, I'm sure she wouldn't.
I had a phone call from her. She's being interviewed on television this morning. Chat show, would you believe?
She's never minded doing that. And chatting, I mean.
Then she's going to May's funeral.
And the minister is still adamant that no one should represent the department there?
No one. I suppose he's right. We still have to protect Willie's cover. Would you make sure the wreath from the women's organised?
Yes, I did that yesterday.
Well, I suppose we'd better get it over with. Tell them the good news.
Maybe it was like all them psycho movies, you know. Perhaps she's having a nervous breakdown or something.
Hey, Wilder? Yeah, she's doing a keen. Oh, fat chance after what you did to Mrs. B. Oh, sorry, Merv. Sort of slipped out.
Look, I don't have to tell you again. Get your work done. With a minimum of chatter, please.
Jeez, I thought you'd be the first to want to see Wilder cop it.
Yeah. Everything all right in here, Mr. Pringle?
Yes, Governor.
I just wanted you to know that Mrs. Morris from now on will be handling all requisition orders.
Fine.
The fact is I'm stepping down as prison governor, effective from today. I'd like you to know what a good job I think you're doing.
Well, thank you, but surely you're not serious.
Very. I wouldn't feel so smug if I were you, Kelly.
Smug? Me?
Yes, you. Let me make it quite clear, my reason for leaving has nothing to do with the hunger strike. I have my own reasons.
Whatever you say.
Nevertheless, I hope this will be the end of it. That's all. To see some work done. Thank you, Mr. Pringle.
She's resigned.
Resigned? Don't be stupid. She got the heave-ho.
Horrid, spiteful girl.
Yes, you are too.
Hey, how come everyone takes me the wrong way, Lurch? I was only trying to help.
Mrs. Reynolds, I just wanted to say I'm shocked. I wish you'd reconsider.
I'm afraid not. I appreciate the thought.
I didn't understand. You always told me how much...
I could lie to you and say I'm sorry to be going, but I really do think it's the best thing for the women. They're the ones who still deserve who deserve the best we can offer them, regardless of their attitude.
He says he wants to see you before he sees Rita Collins.
Is he a bikie?
Certainly is. Full regalia. Funny, says he's also a minister of the church.
Really?
He's shown me a card to prove it.
Better let him through then.
Okay. Dude.
Come in.
Mr. Moulton to see you.
Show him in, please. Mr. Moulton?
Thank you for seeing me.
Please sit down.
Shall I stay?
I don't think so. Thank you.
I'll wait outside then.
I've sent for Rita. You'll be able to see her in the visiting room.
Much appreciated. I'd better explain where I fit in. I've been doing some welfare work with the Conquerors. That's her motorcycle club. I know Rita pretty well. And her brother.
I must say you don't look much like a minister of the church.
Believe me, I take that as a compliment. I'm more interested in God than in the church.
I see. And do the Conquerors hold the same views?
I heard the gang made a nuisance of themselves at your daughter's wedding.
It was more than a nuisance.
I hope you realize Rita had nothing to do with it.
Pure coincidence that her club turned up.
I mean, they were acting without her knowledge.
Really?
Look, I agree most people would see what they did as pure malice. But you must understand that not all bikies are thugs.
I wasn't suggesting they were.
All it means is that they have adopted a lifestyle different to the norm. They tend to back each other up, stick together. It's all part of their ethos, their culture, to protect one another in whatever way they can.
Yes, well, that's all very interesting, but not very encouraging to the people they've attacked or frightened.
No, I'm not saying they're squeaky clean, but I'm trying to offer them help, not hatred. And that's why I want prison to be a rehabilitative experience for Rita. And with your help, it can be.
Yes, well, that's going to be up to her.
And she can do it, I know. She may be rough on the outside, but there's a heart of gold on the inside.
I'm afraid you're wasting your time talking to me because...
Because you've formed your opinions already. Well, sorry, Mrs. Reynolds. I thought I was talking to somebody with enough intelligence to have a broader perspective on the issue.
What I was going to tell you is that this is my final day. You'd be better off talking to the new governor.
Oh, sorry. Been a bit rude. I just tend to jump onto soapboxes at short notice.
There's certainly nothing wrong with being committed to causes, and I wish you the best of luck with Rita and her conquerors. However, at the moment, as I said, there's not much point in preaching to me. Would you take Mr. Moulton to the visiting room, please, Mrs. Slattery? Yes, sir.
Thanks for your time.
Bye.
During the past few months, The papers have been full of stories of a remarkable young woman and her fight to have premenstrual syndrome recognised by the courts as legal defence. Daphne Graham is the woman in the centre of this legal tussle. She's here in the studio with us this morning. Good morning, Daphne.
Hi.
How did you feel when you found out that you'd won this case?
Oh, real good. My lawyer came out to the prison to tell me, and they let me out straight away. His name's Mr. Fulbright. I just thought I'd tell you that.
Yes, I think most people would know the details of the case, but can you tell me what kind of a difference to your life this court decision made?
Oh, it was real good. See, I'm living at home with me mum and dad now, and that's really nice. And me dad got me this job in this nursery looking after plants and stuff.
Do you feel perfectly okay now that you're having regular injections of progesterone?
Oh, yeah, I feel good. I felt pretty bad before. I used to get upset really easily and stuff, and I did some rotten things.
When you were in prison, did you find many other women suffering from PMS?
Oh, I know. Some of the women had it pretty tough, and they used to get real depressed like I did.
Morning.
What the legal profession and other opponents...
I thought you were on early shift this morning. You're late. You know they don't like
Look,
it.
if I'm late, it's between me and the boss. It's got nothing whatever to do with you.
Sorry I spoke.
Do you think that this might result in some
look, I'm
claims by women that they actually be responsible
I'm a little bit
or criminally
hungover. Yeah, again, I know.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I think it's
Look,
gone beyond...
I'm sorry about last night.
But do you have anything at all to take
I'll make it up to you, I promise.
Well, let me put it this way.
Do you want a couple of sandwiches made?
No, don't bother.
Let's say, for instance, that
What's this?
a woman killed your
Oh, it's that girl they let out of prison, you know, because of her periods.
and claimed PMS defense.
Garbage.
Joe, I was watching that.
What for? Bloody ridiculous, letting her out because of her periods.
Well, it's a real problem for some people.
Don't start. You sound like that clever son of yours.
Peter's your son too, Joe.
Gutless wonder he turned out to be.
No, Joe, I know he's different to Harry.
He's a weed. At least Harry didn't hang around here to bludge off us.
Well, neither did Peter. You kicked him out.
Yeah.
And just remember, I love him as much as I love you or Harry.
Well, you can keep him, because Harry's the only son I've got.
Shut it, dipstick, or I'll knock your block off.
If I have to tell you again about getting some work
We
done,
was
you
just saying how much we'll miss Reno, that's all. Gee, it's a shame she had to go before they found Flynn, isn't it?
Work.
Hey, I wonder where she is. Who, Flynn? Ah, probably over the black stump by now. Or under it. Pretty fast work if I say it myself. Rubbed her out, and now we're saying ta-das to Reno. Things are looking up around here, Lurd. Yeah, too right.
You people make me sick. You don't appreciate anything.
What are you on about?
Things would be worse for you if it wasn't for Mrs. Reynolds. She's done more for you than you deserve. And she's too much of a lady to go seeking credit for it.
Oh, go on.
You disgust me, Kelly. You try to destroy everything that's decent, don't you?
You know, you missed your calling, Pringle. You should have been a preacher.
Go, get some work done.
Well, I reckon you can do without me for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to go and powder me nose, you know.
Get out of my sight. I'm sick of the sight of you. Look, the skip's outside. Take it to the laundry. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help it.
Poor Mervyn.
Watch it, Jenkins. You nearly knocked me over.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Slattery. I think the wheel's loose.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Oh, reckon this bloke here could fix it for us. He looks pretty handy.
That's enough out of you.
Oh, whatever you say. Hey, by the way, I hear Mrs. Reynolds is chucking it in. Is that on the level?
That's it, Jenkins. Go back to the laundry and stay there. Somebody else can do skip duty if you can't learn to behave yourself. Oh.
They told us they'd thrown away the key.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Oh, that's no way to welcome a friend. Expecting the worst, eh?
Yes.
You did a good job on Mrs. Barrett, and you did me a favour, too. Oh, yes, the women were really impressed. But I was right about you all the time.
No, please don't hit me. Please, I'll do anything you want, please.
What makes you think I need you? I got rid of Rena all by myself, Wilder. And maybe you're next.
Please, I'll do anything. Look, I could be of use to you. Please don't let the other women near me.
Oh, that's it. Well, I'm going to be needing a few lackeys.
And I reckon you're better qualified than anyone.
I'll do anything you want.
Yeah, you do that. Because I'm going to be wanting plenty, sweetheart. And you better deliver.
All right, quit shoving. A woman of my age is entitled to a bit of respect, so don't you forget it.
Keep quiet and get inside.
By rights, I ought to take your name and number.
All right, stop that nonsense and get yourself over here.
Well, she's been pulling me and pushing me ever since I got down from the dock. It's not good enough. What's the hurry, anyway?
Here you are, and you're welcome to her.
Police brutality, that's what.
Shut up, Wyndham.
Well, she's been giving me the pit bull.
I
all the way-
said be quiet. It's all that rubbish there.
She insisted on bringing it.
Well, it's Mallory's, isn't it? I brought some in for the girls to share. I'm only in for a rest. And no need to do without my creature comforts.
Oh, well, that's where you're wrong, Wyndham. You'll have some after they've been inspected. The rest will be put into storage.
What do you mean put in
I
storage?
mean you'll get them as you need them.
Well, last time I was inside, I was
Times
allowed...
change.
Oh, I get it. Time to chew the rag, eh? Ah, don't worry, I've been round the ridges. I'll let you have some gobstoppers and a couple of toffees, all right?
Attempting to bribe an officer is a very serious offence.
All right, I'll meet you halfway. Licorice all sorts, and there's a bag of sour cherries in there somewhere. Or would jelly snakes be more in your line?
Well, if it isn't Dan the man. As if I ain't got enough trouble. Watch it, Connors. It's okay. He's a mate.
Sorry, nobody contact allowed.
How is it?
In here, great. You'd love it. Bibles in every room.
You kidding?
Yeah, I reckon I used them all up for bog paper.
Calm down or the meeting will be over before it started.
Sorry. So how you going, you old Bible basher?
Listen, I'm here to talk about you.
How's Bongo?
Trouble, as ever.
There's a little nipper.
He's been taking your Harley out some days and...
You tell him if he has a smash, I'll wrap his skinny legs around his head and use him for a footy.
It's okay. I'm keeping an eye on him. How is it?
Piece of cake. I'm missing the gang and my bike. Hey, Vicky, you wouldn't do something for me, would you?
Name it.
My jacket. One of the bloody screws. Thought you'd get clever with a tin of paint.
Oh, that's a bit of a mess.
She'll get hers when I'm ready.
Now, listen. You've got to keep your...
Don't have to worry about me. She's nothing but a raspberry tart. Just take it back to the boys and get them to clean it up a bit for me, will you?
Yeah, sure, can do.
Might even say a prayer for you if you play your cards right.
Build a modern these days, don't they? Mind you, the old ones had more character, more personality. That's the trouble with the world, isn't it? I mean, people changing this, changing that, but nothing gets better. What gets better? You answer me that.
Nothing has changed, Wyndham. We still come down just as hard on troublemakers. Oh! Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Get back to the laundry, Patterson. You, stop your noise.
What name did you say?
Patterson. Now, come on, get to your cell. I haven't got all day.
Your hand?
No, I'm fine, thanks. It's not as heavy as it looks. I'm going to the hospital to visit Joyce. I'll be back later this afternoon.
Righto.
Funny, after all this time, I thought I would have accumulated more. I'll give Joyce your best wishes, shall I?
Yes, please. Oh, I love a drop of soup for lunch.
And you make it so nice. We only have soup if I can be bothered to open a can. And my mother was a great soup maker.
Oh, mine too. Oh, well, they had to be in those days, Depression time.
Oh, it's hot.
You know, though, sometimes I feel things are as bad now as they were then.
Are you all right, love? You look so tired.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Oh, well, I had another big argument with Joe, that's all. We should be used to it by now, but
You know, sometimes I feel I could happily kill him.
He's a bastard to you, Nancy. I keep telling you, you should have left him years ago.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I know I'm right. When I think of the number of times he's thumped you.
No, he's a funny man, though, you know. Sometimes when he wants to be nice, he can be sweet. Just like when we were courting.
Nancy, you can't mean that.
No, I suppose not. You know, I used to hope we could go back to how things were, but now I just wish he'd go walkabout and not come back. It's the only time Peter and I ever get any peace. When he's gone off somewhere, not come back for a month or two.
That's a piece of luck, seeing somebody I know.
What happened?
My bike. I could fix it, but I haven't got the right tools. Are you all right?
Fine. What do you want me to do?
A lift to the nearest garage would be fine. Are you sure you're all right?
I'm sorry, I'm in a hurry. I'll get someone to come back for you.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
Well, you'll have to get used to that sort of thing. You're a celebrity now, Daphne.
Geez, I wish Mr. Fulbright had been there. I knocked over my glass of water. I was so nervous I was shaking in my shoes.
Oh, so was I when I was on television with Mervyn. Mind you, we didn't have time to worry about it. We were in such a panic getting the food right.
Yeah. I reckon it's because of all them lights and those cameras pointing at you. Oh, and they made me face up too. Must have been really expensive, that stuff. And they did me hair. Do you like it?
Oh, well, Daphne, I can't really see it. Everything's still a bit blurry.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
Well, the doctors say I might be able to see properly by tomorrow. Well, we hope so.
Must be really weird, but...
Tell me about Auntie May's funeral.
Oh, it's real sad. Poor Auntie May.
Were there many people there?
No, not really. It's just Willie and a couple of others.
Poor Willie. She must be taking it badly.
Yeah. It was funny, though, Mrs. B. She didn't cry or nothing.
Oh, I wish I'd been able to go.
Yeah. I thought Mrs. Reynolds had come, or at least Mrs. M, but they didn't.
You mean there was nobody at all there from Wentworth? It's very strange. Did Willie say what she was going to do?
Yeah, she said she's going to live in Queensland with an aunt of hers. But that's pretty weird too, you know, because she never ever talked about having an aunt in Queensland. I hope she's going to be okay.
The main thing is, Daphne, are you going to be all right?
Me? Oh, I'll be okay. I got me mum and me dad, and I got myself a job. I'm really lucky.
Good girl.
This bitch is gonna get what's coming to her. And so's Connors when we framed her for doing it.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then.